So I'm about to tell you a story that has Millennial written all over it. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and today I have another story time of my life which I have decided to start sharing more frequently. I met my dad for the first time through Facebook. I found my dad through Facebook. Okay, honestly, I'm sorry, I have waited years to talk about this and it is so weird to be actually sitting here talking about it. Let's just get right into this. So I wanted to share this story just because I know that there are other girls and boys out there that don't know their dad, or maybe they don't know their mom. I know as growing up, it made me question a lot of things, but at the same time it didn't. I know that it was a very valuable and unique learning experience specific to my life. And I think it's the coolest thing ever. Now, it's just so weird how life turns out. I grew up with my mom and my grandparents helped raise me, and honestly every single family member I had helped raise me. That's just how it is. I never had a dad. But I wasn't boo-hoo, I don't have a dad. But since I literally just never grew up with one and was never familiarized with a father figure, I didn't feel like I was missing out. I also had my uncle and my grandpa, and they were father figures to me, you know, just men in my life that were very supportive and protective and just all the stuff that a dad is, you know. And my mom did such a great job raising me, given our circumstances. Not having a dad just it wasn't weird, or I guess I don't know, not having, so weird to say, not having a dad was average to me. That was all I knew, so it was just normal, whatever, right? When I was 12, maybe I was 11. Oh my god, how old was I? When did I first meet my dad? Wait, I'm actually confused. I'm about to call my dad.
Hello, senior, or junior, or sophomore. Oh, that's right, that's what your kid is.
You're the only senior on this phone call. Okay, I'm trying, this is super duper random, but I'm trying to remember what year did we become best friends?
You and I?
Mm-hmm.
You found me in the December 2010.
2010! I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Alright, bye.
Bye. Well, you heard there first, folks. So I met my dad in 2010 when I sent him. Okay, whoa. Super fast. Okay. So it was 2010 when I first was curious as to who's my dad? Everyone I went up to was I'm not your dad. Okay, I'm sorry. So it was around when I was 11 years old, the Christmas of 2010. I started becoming curious as to who's my dad? I don't know. It's a weird thought for a kid to be having, but I had to find out. I remember I had never seen even a picture of my dad. Literally, for 11 years, I did not even have a picture of my dad. I couldn't even fantasize us in the same picture, if that makes sense, because I didn't even know what he looked like. I knew he had blonde hair, blue eyes, and his last name was, well, I probably shouldn't say that. One Christmas Eve, decided to get on the computer at my grandparents' house with my entire family there, and I just Googled my dad's name. And what's so weird now to think about is that this website existed, a high school reunion website, and it was some high school in Missouri, and I wasn't familiar with Missouri. There was his name, and then this woman's name underneath his, and her email was right next to it. And not even knowing my dad, especially not knowing any ladies in his life, I don't know what prolonged me to email her, but I did. I sent this lady an email stating that I was looking for my dad. I get on, obviously I send that email, and then I continue my search elsewhere, and I go to Facebook. Now I'm searching on Facebook and I find an older guy, because at this point, you know, he's aged. He's not blonde anymore, but you know, we're gonna take a guess because he has blue eyes. I sent him a friend request and kind of just crossed my fingers that he was my dad. This is so funny. Like, Dad, if you're watching this, like, I love you. In the same time that I send that lady an email and then I have added my dad on Facebook, she receives my email, forwards it to my long lost brother. Who knew I had a brother? Then my brother forwarded it to my dad, and then by the time my dad had responded to my email, he had accepted my friend request on Facebook, and like a kid's attention span, like Facebook, email, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm like Facebook stalking him, and I sent him a message on Facebook. But it was great news when I read his email. He was like, hey, I am your dad, I think. Like, I've been looking for you for so long. I've been misspelling your last name because I took my mom's last name and my mom had her maiden name. So like I'm basically her dad's daughter. Just kidding. I had my mom's maiden name and he was misspelling it. It's an easy one to misspell. Sanders, vowels are just, they'll get ya. And then he was like, I would love to be your dad. Pat my weave. I'm like, alright, drop a pin. I'm just kidding. Come to find out, he lives what would you even say? He lived in the same zip code. He lived a couple blocks over. We could have been at the same Walmart and I didn't know that he was my dad. But it was so cool because like, he lived down the street. Like I had just found this guy after years, and like he's from a different state. What are the odds that he lived here, much less like 2 blocks away with my long lost brother, which I freaking love that guy. In case anyone's wondering, I did kind of ask my mom, like, I mean, I didn't really ask her. I kind of was just like, hey, I want to know who my dad is. Like, are you chill with me looking that up? She wasn't gonna like withhold me from like finding my dad. Who is my dad? But what's crazy is that even though he and I never knew each other, like growing up, I had a lot of personality traits that just were very opposite of my mom. And obviously there's a lot of reasons why that could have been and whatever. But for example, my mom is very laid back and just not dominant, and I'm very dominant. I'm very A-type. So like that's just like something that you would think growing up around her, like I would not be that way, but then I was. She was also very like more quiet, kept to herself, and I am so loud and obnoxious. I had these personality traits that were just very different from my mom, and they just so happen to be like personality traits of my dad. That's what's crazy, but like definitely like one proves that he's my dad. Two, definitely like it's cool. Like it's really cool to see that you stem from 2 different people to become one person. That was tight. And then meeting my brother, like I really want to know like how do you find out that your dad has had another kid for so long that like you didn't know? I'd be like, wow. Like I think both of our situations are pretty funny. I don't know. What was cool is that everyone was super supportive. Like my grandparents, my mom, my other family members. Everyone knew I just wanted to know my dad. Which actually worked out really well because I like my dad. My dad's cool. And I love my brother so much. Like I couldn't be where I am today without him either. I literally found them through social media. If that's not crazy, you can't too. But for real, like, if there's anyone watching this out there, don't feel discouraged. Like, you know, and even if you don't want to be in their life or they don't want to be in your life, like, that's fine. And there is seriously a bigger picture to everything. And I had to learn that everything that's happened is so planned out on a higher scale. That's the way you have to think about it. There's 1,000 reasons why it could have been bad that I did grow up without my dad. And then there's 1,000 reasons why it's better that I didn't, just because of everything that works out. I think that happens for everyone too. It would also have made me a very different person. Luckily I got to go through all the trial and errors when I was a teenager with him, but whatever. Still loves me. Please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. I would love to like talk to any of you that have gone through something like this or similar. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. This is my story, and that's what's so cool, and that's honestly, we're gonna get into it right now. That's why I wanted to like get back into YouTube videos. Okay, honestly, that's a whole other video. Just give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below, all the good stuff. I'll see you guys in my next video, and yeah, bye.
How can I explain myself?